Welcome back to Paint Yourself into the Picture. Now it's time to introduce my guest, Carmela Garon. Welcome to the show, Carmela. It's so great to have you here.
Hi, Reba. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm thrilled that you're here, and I know we're going to get into all different kinds of things, and I can't wait. So I want to know, actually, if you could tell me what's the main thing on your mind today? I know you wrote something when you applied to the show, but I want to give you a chance. How are you feeling today?
Um, I'm checking in. I'm actually feeling pretty awesome.
Okay, class dismissed. All right.
I am feeling awesome. But you know you know a lot about me, so you know that I've been dealing with my own issues as I try to step out into the world in a bigger way. So
Exactly. So this is a really interesting moment, and you're kind of almost the ideal client. I mean, I love everybody who comes on the show, of course, but there is a trend, and you're part of the trend of people who are going from, let's say, living life here to suddenly having a bigger dream and or a new dream or something that's a completely new role in their lives. So it's fascinating. Why don't you just share a little bit that you're doing about the summit that you're doing, just so people know that what we're talking about. You're organizing a summit called
Unleash Your Joy.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! So, just to give a little background and a little history, I am a trained integrative wellness coach. I've been trained since 2007, but never really used that training to its fullest potential. I was in corporate for many years and just recently left not even a year ago. So my life is in huge transitions. You know, when they say between the trapeze, I'm there. I'm in the middle. So,
Stress.
yeah. So I can't say that I didn't use my skills at work. I did. But I felt like it had run its course and was looking to really step in. You know, I attend so many seminars. I'm a junkie, so I'm at everyone's coaching seminars, and every weekend I'm somewhere. And I always dreamt, I was maybe I could be that person.
Oh, okay.
But what would I say? What do I have to give, right?
Right.
So I'm working with a business coach, and the summit, what you discussed, is what's coming out of that. So it was her way of trying to get me out of my comfort zone, and it definitely has been that.
Oh, I see. So she kind of got you into this. I see. So just full disclosure, I'm one of the guests on the summit. We had an amazing interview yesterday. So I just had a blast on that interview, and the information about the summit will be on the Paint Yourself into the Picture information, so you'll access it there. And I'm also going to be writing a blog post on my website, which will be called Releasing Joy or something like that. So I'll definitely have the invitation to join the summit there as well. So that's great. So she pushed you, and how do you feel about that?
Well, you know, uncomfortable,
Okay.
but feeling like that was exactly the right person I needed to guide me and get me there.
Right.
Um, it's been pushing me out of my, okay, so I was comfortable in the corporate world, you know, I was
Yes.
comfortable. I had my skills. I had my connections. I knew who I was in this space. Yeah, I'm certified, and yes, I have lots of great life experience, but you know, just looking for experts to be on the summit, and just felt uncomfortable saying, okay, so I'm going to be the leader of this summit, and will you join and bring your expertise? So that was uncomfortable. But what I've been finding is, as I go on, of course, I'm more comfortable, but also that I've been finding so much generosity and so much appreciation for what I'm doing, that it's been just so empowering as well.
Wow. So that's so powerful that you really didn't tiptoe into it. You really came out as the leader. And I mean, I totally agree with that. I'm like, you don't have to wait to be invited to the party. You can make your own party. And that's just a whole different approach. And it's brilliant, because no one's to say No, and really people do most often take you on face value. If working with you is fun and good and organized and everything is going well, then great. I think there's a lot of people that are willing to play when everything is, you're running it very well. So there's
Thank
no
you.
problem there. So what's interesting to me is that in a sense that the coach pushed you there, which is great. You hired her and you wanted her to do that. But let me ask you, what is your dream? I mean, you said also that you wanted to be one of those coaches up there on stage. I want to do that, but what's your biggest dream? And this is part of the paint yourself into the picture. When you think of stepping into that picture, what is that, that thing that sparked you, that got you excited in the beginning? Tell me a little bit about what's the most exciting big picture. What was that to you?
That's an interesting question. I think it's that love of helping others, and sharing my experiences, and anything that I can help to bring greatness out of other people. So that is kind of the inspiring thing that inspires me. If I have a vision about the vision, I'd like to hold retreats in Italy and do all these kind of amazing things. It's not so much speaking in front of a crowd, but it's really, to me, I don't mind being in the limelight, but it's more about helping others come into their own.
Wow. That's really beautiful. So that love of helping others, that's really like the inside core, because that could take many forms. It could be a summit, it could be a retreat, it could be programs, it could be a lot of different things. So talk to me a little bit of, let's just try to get a handle on that core idea, because that's such a valuable piece in many ways. So tell me a little bit more about that love of helping others, and what does that feel like for you? How would you say, if you had to write a bumper sticker about what you were all about, your statement of life? Just say no, just do it, whatever.
You are awesome. Something
You
like
are awesome.
that. I had a huge team. Full disclosure, I worked in the retail world, and I had a huge team. And I felt really heartbroken to leave my team. And as soon as I left it, I had like 20 people reporting to me. They all left and started these amazing careers. And just 2 days ago, I got an email saying, I know that without you and your mentoring, I would never be here. That's what, I get shivers. I'm like, yay!
I just got chills. I just got chills. That's amazing.
I get texts from them every week. I built this team, mostly women, I have to say, but some men that had no experience in the field. I trained them. But what I really wanted to create was an environment where everyone thrived and supported each other. So in the beginning, personalities would come out, and I'd be like, no, I'm not having this. We're all going to support each other and bring each person's gifts into it to bring greatness out of each of you. And that's what ended up happening.
Wow. So you are awesome.
Thanks.
And I love that that's your bumper sticker too, because you're kind of like a midwife.
That's funny. You know how many people have told me that? I've been told that many times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the right image, but you're a conduit.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
To really, not finding the words, but to help to nurture others and to see them.
It's funny you say that, because when I left the corporate world and said, okay, now I'm doing this, the voice came up and said, well, who are you to do this, right? And what the answer that came to me was that when I could put aside my ego, it wasn't Carmela, but it was the divine that was coming through. I was just the conduit. Whatever I say, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, The conduit. That's the word I was thinking of. You're a conduit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I mean, you're also yourself, and you're also a stopping place. So, I'm not just saying you're only a conduit, but
Yep.
that is, I've been trying to write this book called Paint Yourself into the Picture. And the idea is to hone in on that inner, I was calling it your inner North Star, until I found out that another big coach wrote a book about the North Star, and I'm like, so wouldn't you know? So it just means that the ideas are in the air. And what I'm thinking of using now is, instead of that, the heartbeat, inner heartbeat.
Yeah.
And it's that core part that it's always there.
Right.
Whether you're having a good day or a bad day, whether you don't want to get out of bed and you feel lousy, that's still there. That's your heartbeat. That's why you get out of bed, even if you don't feel like it.
Right. And I think, you're part of my summit. I think that's pivotal to the summit. You could be having, challenges. We all do. We're human. That's part of the experience. But that core is there.
Yeah.
And it's always there, and you can't lose it. So if you can be still and tap into it, it's there.
Exactly. And you said it, be still and tap into it. You can't lose it, because it's you. It's your mission. It's divine. It's given. It's a given. But what people do is they lose sight of it.
Yeah.
And what I want to do with the Paint Yourself into the Picture program, and other people are doing as well, is holding it and holding it consciously, so that you're stepping into a lot of things that sorry, I have something in my throat.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier that you try something big and you bump into the fears, because that's natural. Once you try, it sort of unbalances like when you were working corporate, everything was kind of humming along in balance. Then you try to you go and do something new, and everything gets all kerfuffle.
Sure.
So that's where the inner heartbeat. You just remember it, because you can be afraid, and you can be, no, I'm a conduit. I have a mission.
Right.
Or you could feel unworthy, but no, I have a job to do. So it's that conduit. So what feeling do you get? Let's just not just have a name for it, like, that you are awesome gift that you want to bring to the world. But is there a feeling that you have?
To see the rest of this episode, click on the link below the video now. You'll be glad you did. Are you still here? What are you waiting for? Click on the link below the video now to see the rest of this epic episode.